scientists find that Earth's ancient mountains inflated and rose up with the help from the ocean's tiniest organisms. Ocean life exploded over 2 billion years ago, and many of Earth's mountains might never have been formed otherwise. These tiny organisms in the shallow seas, like plankton, die and sink into the bottom. They can add organic carbon to Earth's crust, making it weaker and more pliable. A case study of 20 mountain ranges around the world, including the Rockies, Andes, Svalbard, Central Europe, Indonesia, Japan, is now linking the timing of high carbon burial in the ocean with the very generation of our planet's peaks. The researchers say the additional carbon allowed easier deformation of the crust in a manner that builds mountain belts, thereby plate margins characteristics of modern plate tectonics. The change seems to have begun around 2 billion years ago. It was in the middle of the Paleoproterozoic era, when biological carbon from plankton and bacteria began to add very high concentrations of graphite into the ocean floor shale. This made the rock, we know shale is brittle anyway, it made the rock brittle and more likely to stack. Within 100 million years, most mountain ranges began to form in these weakened slices of crust. Mountain ranges that emerged more recently follow the same pattern. In the Himalayas, for instance, the tectonic thrusting around 50 million years ago was focused on Paleoproterozoic sediments with a most organic, rich beds. The timing and location implies that biological carbon in graphite continues to shape the geology of our planet. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. Geologist John Parnell from University of Aberdeen, Scotland says, ultimately what our research shows is that the key to the formation of mountains was life, demonstrating that the Earth and its biosphere are ultimately linked in ways not previously understood. In other words, life had to do with the geology formation, you see. The data for the study collected from already published literature on mountain formation and buried marine biomass. In the past, numerous studies showed tectonic plates need to be weakened by graphite to create mountains, but how this initially occurred is not yet clear. The new research suggests marine life is a key part of this process. All 20 mountain ranges studied held black shale, highly concentrated with graphite, which appears to come from a biological origin. We can see the evidence of the northwest of Scotland, where the roots of the ancient mountains and the slippery graphite that helped build them can still be found. We have a lot of graphite in Greece as well, shale that is. Now, they use it for rooftops. The surge in marine life 2 billion years ago most likely occurred in response to the Great Oxidation Event, when photosynthesizing bacteria began to produce vast amounts of oxidation capable of supporting new life forms like single-celled life and marine planktons. But the formation of mountains does not even require that much biological carbon. Just a small percentage of biomass is needed for the edging of tectonic plates to slip under and over each other when they collide. In mountain ranges made from Paleoproterozoic sediment, though, the carbon content is constantly above 10%, and scientists found it sometimes even reaches 20%. So, in short, in brief, it seems that an exceptional surge in marine life billions of years ago was the beginning of many of these mountain ranges that we see today. The authors say, as the carbon contents of the sediment were anomalously high in the Paleoproterozoic era, the flux of carbon into subduction zone was greater, and hence deformation could take place more readily than had been possible up to now. If the team is right, this means microscopic single-cell organisms invisibly floating the sea might have played a key role in the creating of some of the largest geological structures on our planet, these huge mountain ranges. And this is published in the communication Earth and Environment, and it's on Science Alert by Carla Casella. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.